we can take those multiple crowd microphones, put them together in either a mono or a stereo pair of mix buses, combine that with our board feed of our stereo or our mono bus, and we can combine that together to send to our stream, and we can actually adjust the blend of that. But we wouldn't want our crowd mics going into our PA, so we're not going to add that to our left-right bus because our left-right bus goes to our PA. So let me show you how to actually get these things set up. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and zero out my console here, and I'm going to show you how to do this from scratch. So we have our 32 channels here. We have our have a smaller size board, it's going to be 7 and 8. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to 15 and I'm going to change this. Instead of it being on main left, I'm going to go to matrix 1. And then on 16, I'm going to go to matrix 2. And if you had a smaller version of the console, we'd go to 7 and we would set this to matrix 1. And then on 8, we would set it to matrix 2. And we want to have that tap as post fader. That way, if we adjust the volume of our matrix, it's adjusting the volume of the PA, which is important. The next thing that we need to do is we need to send our left-right bus to this matrix section. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and hit home. I'm going to select my left-right bus. So this is my stereo bus here. And what we can do is we can either tab over using the page select, or we can just press view and the bus sends. And we can see right here our 6 matrices. If we were wanting to turn up our left-right bus into these matrices, all we would have to do is take our first rotary knob and turn this up to either 0 or anything that you want to set here. So we can see that it is at 0 and it is unmuted. If it does happen to be muted, you need to press this button. Now, one really cool benefit of this is that we can vary the amount of volume going to our PA using this knob. So say you have the set like this, you're not giving a full output to all the rest of the devices down the signal chain. So if you are sending to your stream outputs from your front of house console, and this is sitting at -10, then your online mix is probably a little quiet, which is no good. So what you should do is you should turn this all the way up to unity gain. We should get this back to unity gain. Now what we can then do is we can apply that same -10 dB of attenuation on our send from here to the matrix. So we can go ahead and dial this back to -10. Now, something that I like to do is doing this. I like to have a full mix on my meters, and I like to push my board so that I get a full signal to all the rest of the devices. But I might not want it to be that loud in my room, so I will just vary the amount of volume on my PA using this trim here. Or if we also wanted to, we could leave this at 0, and then we could apply that attenuation here. I don't like to do the attenuation here, because if you had to say a volunteer come by and they look and they're like, oh, well, why is this at -10? That needs to be at 0. Well, that's probably not a good idea. So I like to just apply it in the trim here that we have from the stereo bus going to the matrix section. Now, what's another practical example of this? Well, what we can do is we could add a subwoofer, and say we wanted to add that subwoofer, but not have an extra system processor. We wanted to be the ability of getting a good sound out of our PA plus that sub, and we want to do everything in this board, which is cool. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and set the matrix 1 and 2. We're just going to label them. So we're going to go to name and icon, and we're going to title this, and this is going to be PA. So we can now see that I have matrix 1 and 2 labeled PA, and we'll just go ahead and change the color of these so we can have fun here. And then on matrix 3, I'm going to label this sub. Now that we have these things labeled, we need to send our left-right to this subwoofer send. So what we're going to do is we're going to go back to home and go to view, and we're just going to take our level 3 here and turn it up to 0.